Welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. About a year ago, I did a couple, within the last year, I did a couple episodes on Cannonau di Sardegna. It's a wine that comes from, obviously, Sardegna, the island off of the central west coast of Italy. And we talked a little bit in that episode about how the people in Sardinia tend to live longer than the average person throughout the world. I think their lifespan reaches into the mid-90s on average. Now, I think it was Dr. Oz, not positive, I can't remember that part, but they talked about the antioxidants in Cannonau di Sardegna. And those antioxidants are anthocyanins. Those are the flavonoids that give the red color to the grapes. Now, those are very good for your heart. They scrub the arteries, so to speak. Now, I'm not a medical person, but I know for a fact that now doctors prescribe people that have had heart attacks or heart trouble. They encourage them to drink red wine. They don't prescribe it, of course, but they encourage them to drink red wine because it's been proven that red wine is good for the heart. But in particular, Cannonau seems to have a little bit more of those antioxidants in this wine. Now, it's interesting because you say, well, what is Cannonau? Well, Cannonau is Grenache or Garnacha. Same thing. Now, there's a debate as to whether the Sardinians brought it over to Spain or if Spain introduced it to Sardinia. But Sardinia has their own name for it. They call it Cannonau, and it's Grenache. So it's grown throughout the whole island. On the east coast especially, they get some of the better Cannonau's, but that's where it's grown, that's what it's called, and it is good for the heart. But this particular episode is for Lisa B. She made a comment a couple months ago, and she asked me to start looking for sweet Cannonau. Now, I will tell you, Lisa, that sweet, you'll never find a Cannonau that is as sweet as, let's say, like a Lambrusco or a Moscato or anything like that. But you will find some, perhaps, that are more fruit-forward, which makes them appear to be sweeter, so to speak. So, like Zinfandel, many people might consider Zinfandel sweet because it's so fruit-forward. Not all Zinfandel, but some Zinfandels are like that. In fact, I know guys that like really dry wines will not drink Zin because it is so fruit-forward. But we're going to get right into this episode. I'm excited to try these. I don't have any in my wine section right now, which is kind of a bummer. I think I had one for a while and I lost track of who had it. But we're going to get started right off with the Paula Il Fiori Cannonau. And this is rolls in at $21. I'm looking for the vintage, guys. Sorry, they don't put it on the front. It's so irritating. 2018. So fairly young. Nice label. There you go. Now in Sardinia, they of course use moderation. The average person drinks about 2 glasses of Cannonau or red wine a day. So we're not talking drinking a whole bottle. Although it's never hurts to try. Okay. Good color. Of course, Grenache, as we know, is grown extensively in southern France. They use it in Côte d'Aron, in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and sometimes in the southern France it can get very spicy, which is something I like about Grenache there. Then in Spain they call it Garnacha, and they do a ton of it there in Spain. They do it in California, do it in Washington. Very popular grape. Dark color on this one, pretty dark, actually. Can't barely see through that. Let's see what we get on those. Hair's getting a little bit long, because, this coronavirus thing, all the barbershops, all the hair cutters are shut down until May 4th here in Washington. I don't know why May 4th, but very earthy. I get a real, like plums and strawberries on this one. Big time, with a lot of earth, which I like. Get a little black olive as well, which is quite interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Oh, I almost get a... That was interesting. Sort of a, well, the earth definitely comes through. This has good acidity. Sorry, Lisa, this is not the one for you. High in acid, very high tone on the palate. Almost like a raspberry meets blackberry meets strawberry. Really high tone. Very high tone, meaning good acidity. Balanced acidity, but very, very much so. Makes it bright in the mouth. Very bright in the mouth. Which, as we talked about in the past, makes it a very good food wine. This is not a wine that I think you would drink by itself. I think with food it would be great. I could see having this with lamb big time. It'd be good with lamb. Be good with lasagna, anything like that. There's almost like a blueberry skin thing going on right in the mid palate, going into the finish. Not super excited about this Cannonau. It is high in acid, it's bright in the mouth. I don't get a huge amount of complexity. You know, I said raspberry meets blackberry meets strawberry, but that's kind of all the way across the palate. It's really bright, hanging on, and a little bit of earth. But yeah, not super excited. Not terrible. It's okay. I'm gonna go C. It's what they say. It's 21 bucks. Yeah, I'm gonna go C plus on that. Let's move on. Yeah, just really, really bright. Now with food, let's just go this way. C plus by itself. If I had food here right now, I might go up to B minus. But you know, I just don't think there's much going on with that. Okay, let's move on to the Sella and Mosca Reserva Cannonau di Sardegna 2017. Now, this is not a Reserva, so it has to be 85% Cannonau or Grenache to be called Cannonau. To be called a Reserva, it has to be 90%, I believe, 90 to 95% Cannonau. All right, rinse. Yeah, the Fiori, C plus. It's fair. So, Lisa, let's see if we run into a more fruit forward, what we'd call sweet. Definitely stay away from the Fiora. Man, I get that bark, kind of earthy bark notes on this one. Almost the sweetness coming through on the nose, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I get strawberries, earth. A little bit of leather coming through on this one. And there's a dried herb like thyme or oregano maybe coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very interesting nose. A lot softer on the palate. This has acidity, but it's blended in with the fruit a little bit more. It doesn't give it a high tone, but it is there. You can get it. I get strawberries, earth. I don't get any of that oregano. Maybe that, yeah, I do. I get a little bit of that oregano in the background, on the finish, on the back end. There's some red fruits here, like red plum, strawberries. Good tannic structure. I mean, it's not super tannic, but you can get a little bit of a grip action on the backside. This is way more interesting, less acidic, but the acid is there and well blended in. This would also be very good with lamb. Would be very good with spaghetti or lasagna and anything like that. Ham would be great with this. It's drier style. It dries out on the finish. Good complexity, good balance, good integration of all the elements, and long finish. I get a little bit of that earth and plum and strawberry on the backside. Red plum. on the back end, and a little bit of the leather kind of comes through as well. There's a little bit of a sweetness on the mid palate, but then it dries out. So Lisa, if you're watching this, that's not it either. But very good. I'm going to go B+ on that one. I like this one a lot. Of course, it's a Reserva. You would expect it to be a little bit, I think it's 95% on the, anywhere from 90 to 95 Cannonau. Let's move on to number 3, the Santadi 2015 Cannonau di Sardegna Noras. So Santadi Noras Cannonau 2015. This wasn't at 23. Did I say this? This is $19. Okay, I don't think I mentioned the price. 19 bucks. That's a good play. I like it. This is $23 on Michael Jordan. There you go. 2015. I think this was, what was this? 17? Yeah. 18, 17, 15. It is interesting, you know, you see a Cannonau on the shelf, and I know most of you probably would not guess Grenache. I remember the first time, it was a while ago, I learned that. Good color on this, was really dark on this one, almost as dark as the first one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh, this has a nice, kind of a, like strawberry pie, with a little bit of, again, a little bit of earth on in. I like that old world, you know, you get that kind of earthiness. I get a little bit of chocolate, which is kind of cool. Yeah, chocolate meets strawberry pie. Earth. And this one also has a little bit of old leather action going on. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay, Lisa, if you're watching, now she watches some of my episodes, and she wants to know about Cannonau. This might be what we call the most fruit-forward one of the bunch. In fact, I like this one. I like the second one a lot. I give it a B+. But this one has nice depth to it. Has good fruit. That chocolate comes through. It's kind of like somebody sprinkled a little chocolate on a strawberry pie, and maybe threw a little bit of a more darker plums, like more black plum action to it. The earth and leather notes come through on the backside into the finish. And there's just a little bit of spice, which is something I like about Grenache in general, is that spiciness it can have depending on the... so the alcohol on this, that'll be interesting. 15.5, so there you go. But you see, you don't get heat on this one. I wonder what the alcohol was on this one. So 14. And I'm guessing this one is lower in alcohol because it was so bright. 13 alcohol. So, you know, some guys that are against high alcohol wines might like this one. I'm liking this one a lot. I like the second one a lot. I like this one just as much, maybe a little bit more. It has a little bit more going on. It's good integration, nice, smooth across the palate, a little bit of spice on the back end, a little bit more complexity. I like that leather. It's a little grippy on the backside, but it's still smooth, delicious, complex. Strawberry meets chocolate meets black plum notes. Get a little bit of the red fruit on the back. The strawberry comes through more on the backside. Good long finish. It's still going on. If you're listening, Lisa, out there, if you're listening out in the YouTube land, this might be one you might want to seek out. The 2015. Now, I don't know vintage to vintage, but this is... I think they're recent vintage. Santadi Noras Cannonau. There you go. Nice wine. I mean, nice wine. I mean, this, you know. So I am going to go with this one. I am going to go with a A-. on that. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. This is a pass for me. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned a little bit about Cannonau di Sardegna. Just think Grenache, okay? Garnacha. Makes it a lot easier. Hope you guys are taking care of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Getting quite a few subscribers, and I'm excited about that. And I like the comments, too. A lot of you guys are commenting, and I try my hardest to make a comment back if I can. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.